In the beginning of the story of the Bible, you learn of one being named God. God is the creator of everything. He creates the planets, the stars, earth, trees, and animals. He creates humanity, his crowning creation, made in his image and set apart from the rest of creation to rule over it as God's stewards. We learn that God's design is a good design, that his creation is good. There's harmony, there's peace. Humans have an uninhibited relationship with one another and with God. But that's very different from the world we live in, isn't it? So what happened? Well, we learn that humans decide not to partner with God, but rather to be God over their own lives, to be kings doing life their own way. So they rebel against God. And any rebellion against God is known as sin. Humanity is now selfish. There's violence, there's war, there's conflict in relationship with one another, and then there's separation in a relationship with God. Sin leads to a world of brokenness. Humans recognize the brokenness in our world and attempt in several ways to escape this brokenness. So you read in the story about humans who say, if I can just acquire enough wealth and riches, I can escape brokenness. You have others that say, if I can just get enough love in my life, have enough people love me or the right person love me, I can escape brokenness. Others say, you know what, if I can just get enough pleasure in life, I can escape. Or even others say, you know what, in order to get to God, I just need to do enough good works that outweigh my bad works. And if I can just live a good moral life, I can escape brokenness. But humans learn that all of our attempts to escape brokenness, even if they provide temporary relief, just like bungee cords, we are inevitably snapped back into brokenness. Not all hope is lost, though. You see, God chooses a man and a woman, Abraham and Sarah, and tells them that through them he was going to create a new nation, a new people, his chosen people, the people of Israel. And that through Israel, the rest of the world would be blessed. That through Israel, the world would know who God is and what he's like. That through Israel, we would escape brokenness. And so you have high hopes for this nation. But sadly, we see that Israel is no different than the rest of humanity. Israel attempts to escape brokenness on their own terms. They worship other gods. They seek to be king of their own lives. They are just like the rest of humanity. And yet, there are prophets in Israel that come and foretell of one that would come from this nation of Israel. This one man would be the true rescuer. This one man would be the true king who would lead us into an everlasting kingdom. And sure enough, God comes to our broken world in the person of Jesus. And Jesus lives a life that we should have lived in complete obedience to God, no sin against God. Jesus offers up his life for us on the cross. He takes on our brokenness and he gives us his right standing, his right relationship with God. After he dies, 3 days later, we're told he raises from the dead, proving that he truly is king, king over sin, king over death, king over all. And as king, he invites us that if we want to escape brokenness, that we need to turn from our broken, empty attempts to rescue ourselves, to be king of our own lives. We need to believe that Jesus is the true king, and that through Jesus, we can be restored back into a relationship with God and good relationship with one another. And sure enough, if you put your trust in Jesus as your king and as your savior, then you are made a new creation. You have a renewed relationship with God, a renewed relationship with one another. After Jesus raises from the dead, Jesus ascends to heaven where he sits at the right hand of God the Father. But before he ascends, he tells his followers that there will be a day in which he returns. And when he returns, he will restore his creation fully and finally. There will be a new heaven and a new earth in his new creation. And the presence of sin will be fully eradicated. There will be peace and harmony and right relationship between God and his children forever. And sure enough, the last pages of the story tell us of Jesus' return, bringing new creation. This is the story of the Bible.